We are live. We're officially live. We are officially live. Um, Everybody, what's going on? We are the Godzilla Nerds. I am one of your hosts. I am Donald.
I'm Nick.
Nick,
Oh my god.
sir.
I'm Remy. What
I'm
up?
Serge.
Oh man, and we are the Godzilla Nerds. So today we wanted to talk about a few theories pertaining to Godzilla 3. This video is a big shout out to our boy Nick. He decided that it would be a good idea to get together and talk about some theories pertaining to Godzilla 3. Pretty much, we're talking about the next possible opponent uh, for Godzilla 3. So, Nick, I'm gonna let you take it away. We're gonna start with you. Godzilla 3 next possible opponent. Who would you like to see?
There's multiple kaijus I would love to see, but two particular ones I would actually want to see more because we already saw Mechagodzilla and Godzilla versus Kong. Now, if everybody read the comic book that came out for Godzilla versus Kong, they saw there was Kong and Godzilla fighting one flying creature, which everybody's saying Space Godzilla. I would like to see him, or if you actually pay attention to the end credits of King of the Monsters, they were talking about how Behemoth was restoring life to the Amazon forest, and scientists were doing their chemical things on there. So
Mm-hmm.
Biolante.
Yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see
Yes.
Biolante. I would be curious to how they would make her look with all the upgrades and CGI technology we have today. I think that would be really, really interesting to see how Biolante would look, and even Space Godzilla. Like, oh man, they probably make a killer Space Godzilla. They probably make a killer Space Godzilla. So those are like two of my favorites that I would want to see next. So what about you, Remy? Who would you like to see as Godzilla's next opponent in the MonsterVerse?
Personally, I would love to see Space Godzilla be the next opponent because Space Godzilla is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Godzilla villain. Because I feel like you can make for a good antagonist. Because I feel like you can, with the MonsterVerse, they're like applying more personality and human characteristics to the kaiju. So I feel like with Space Godzilla, you could do that even at a greater extent because you can make him more conniving and more insane or more chaotic. You can make him like an actual threat that Godzilla needs to take out.
Right. What about you, sir? Godzilla 3, possible next opponent. Who would you like to see as Godzilla 3's next possible opponent?
Oh man, that's easy for me. Godzilla versus Biolante is my favorite, apart from 1954, right? So I'm gonna have to go with
Right.
Biolante. Easy.
Yeah.
But then
I think.
I would also say next would probably be Space Godzilla, just because I'd love to see how they make him look. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Biolante first. Maybe because that's also possibly the more grounded villain they could have. I know as grounded as a plant-based Godzilla could be, right? Um, but versus like another
Yeah.
space creature, even though King Ghidorah has already been said to be from space, but yeah, Biolante.
Yeah, they have a lot of monsters in the Godzilla franchise who are from space, whether it's Gigan, King Ghidorah, Space Godzilla. But I don't think you could go wrong with either or using Space Godzilla or Biolante. I'm just curious to see how Biolante would look. Like, what kind of look, Nick, do you give Biolante?
Hmm.
Like if you're sitting down, if you're being a creator, like how do because Biolante has a unique already has a unique design. So you probably wouldn't have to completely change her design, but you would have to make some modern upgrades to her, of course, in the modern era. So, but how do you come up with the design for Biolante? Like, how do you do that?
That's a very good question because in the movie Godzilla vs. Biolante, they took the Godzilla cell plus a human cell, and it became what it became. And
Right.
honestly, I would if you would have paid attention, Biollante already had dorsal fins when
Mm-hmm.
she first appeared in her second form. I would probably make the dorsal fins a little bit more bigger and
Oh yeah.
maybe give her a little bit more, maybe just a little bit more abilities. That's it. I find her her form completely fine. That's it. Probably a little bit more dorsal fin and more ability, and that's it. Because
Would you
that seemed to be fine, and maybe hide the the weak spot, which is glowing directly right there.
now that would be awesome. I would like to see what they would do with that glowing spot that she has. So what about like do you keep her like the same height, same weight? Like
I would probably maybe a little bit more
Godzilla's
weight, a little
bigger
bit more
now,
height.
so
Oh yeah, everybody yeah. Probably make them about almost the same size as Godzilla. Make it an equal
okay,
fight. Uh,
right,
maybe more teeth.
okay.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, because Biollante is, and which Toho, which I really like about Toho, is they've always had unique ideas. Like a lot of their monsters have unique designs, and that's what I love about them so much. So you have like Space Godzilla, unique design, Biollante, unique design. So with that being said, Remy, you're a creator, right? You're producing Godzilla 3, and they say, well, Biollante is the next opponent. How do you get people to buy in to the way you want Biollante to look? Like how do you create her?
I think the way I would create her, I would keep her origin practically the same. Maybe not with the human cells, but I would keep the plant and Godzilla cells. So maybe I would have it as if, like, maybe one day Godzilla gets into a fight and some of his blood gets onto a plant.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I can't remember the other. It might like a Venus flytrap, and so from there, the blood, Godzilla's blood, could go into the cells of that plant and start transforming it into this monstrous abomination, which would be Biollante. And so for Biolante's design, I feel like I'd still keep her original design,
Hmm.
but what I would have is that she would be larger than Godzilla, just like she is in the
Hmm.
Heisei series.
Right.
And I would probably, yeah, I'm with Nick, I'd probably make her dorsal spines a little bit bigger too. But I would also have it where she could just, where her vines would just be so huge that they could practically cover an entire continent for just how long and massive they could be. And so, like, she basically just surround Godzilla as well.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that'll be a pretty unique idea. I like that, Remy. I like that a lot. Serge, I'm gonna bring it to you. They say, look, next opponent for Godzilla 3, Biollante will be the antagonist against Godzilla. Like, so with you, I want to ask you this, sir. Do you make this a remake of Godzilla versus Biollante, or do you kind of do your own thing with it? Like, how would you go about this?
No, I think. I mean, I guess it essentially is a remake of sorts, but I'd say give it a different story though, a different origin story, um, and also because we've been given all these different elements in the MonsterVerse, and I think we can get to Biollante from there. So I think we'll be okay. Are you asking what that like the theory of Biolante's origin is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so last week I had this wild idea after we all talked last time, and I thought, what if we go all the way back to Godzilla 2014, right?
All right.
And mind you, let's keep in mind that since this time, obviously scientists are already doing things with titans and mecha titans and things like that. So, but let's say, what if, and I forget his name. Well, Bryan Cranston,
Uh huh.
his wife was in that reactor, right? She
Mhm.
got exposed to all that radiation and whatnot, right?
Oh,
What if she is the catalyst for Biolante, having been exposed to all that, get plants somehow there in the mix. They were there. They were studying those things too. Something like that. Something to that effect, where they're conveniently nearby, conveniently part of
That's awesome, bro.
part of the project. And let's say that she has already been discovered being whatever, mutated by radiation and plants and whatnot, and they decide that, well, maybe her form is unstable, so they need something to stabilize her. Godzilla's been fighting other titans for some time now, so his cells are around. They've gotten bits and pieces here and there. So a scientist uses a Godzilla cell to stabilize Biolante / Bryan Cranston's wife's form, or whatever she is, stabilize, right? And
Right.
basically that would be her origin. And it would be a really cool callback to the first Godzilla in the MonsterVerse.
So the Heisei era.
yeah. No, that,
Yeah.
That,
No,
So
but
we
yeah,
have,
like,
right there? Oof.
yeah. Serge, with that idea, that would be cool. Like in the beginning of the movie, they have like a flashback to that particular
Mhm.
part in 2014, and they show, and you like just see the camera pan over, and you just see like these like type of Venus, this new species of Venus flytrap being studied, and then the Earth, then the attack happens from the Muto, and then you're like, oh wait, what happens to those plants though? And then that's what happened, and then that's created by life. That's awesome. That's actually a really cool idea. I
So it's
like that a lot.
So Biolante's story actually started in Godzilla 2014. So, Adam, if you're listening, take it away.
Or just give us the rights. We'll do it.
Yeah, we'll make it.
Yeah, Remy will take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Remy's
got the art. We got the idea.
Oh yeah, of
video.
course. Freaking, I'll
We
make
will be
Godzilla fight
sued
like
on
an
the
anime
behalf.
character.
But
You will be.
along with what you other guys said though, like I totally agree though. Like it's funny. I didn't realize that Biolante actually had dorsal plate type formations on her until I was older. As a kid watching that movie, I didn't really realize it. But as I got older, I realized, hey, those look like Godzilla's dorsal plates, kind of, except they're, plant bark or whatever. So I would definitely bring those in.
Right.
They become a little bit more spectacular looking. And then also, I like Biolante a little bigger than Godzilla, because I'd like her to be. I don't really want it to be a fair fight. I'd like Biolante to give Godzilla a run for his money a bit more, not be as fragile to his atomic breath as she was in the original. Still, still be a factor, but not as. The fights were good, but once Godzilla knew what to do, I mean, it was pretty much over.
Yeah,
I would say that Biolante should be able to like maybe absorb his atomic breath. Like maybe that core inside of her is what helps her like absorb it, and then she transfers it or switches it into her own beam attack, and then fires it back at him. Exactly. Into the poison. Exactly. Into her poison ivy, and it shoots back at him. Oh,
that's cool. And I will say, those who are watching this video, if you steal my man Serge's idea, you will be sued on the behalf of the Godzilla nerds. You won't allow it. But there's a few people watching, so if y'all have some questions that y'all want to ask, feel free to ask some questions. We'll be more than happy to answer them. So let us know. We've got a few people watching. But also, I want to ask you, Nick, so I want to bring this back to you, Nick, since we're talking about, powers, Godzilla's atomic breath, the abilities that Biolante have. If you could upgrade or give Biolante a new power, what would it be?
See, I would give both of them new powers, to be honest, in my opinion. Godzilla, new powers, obviously his atomic self is very strong, and we all noticed it. Maybe probably give him that, but instead of the beam coming out, it's his actual atomic breath coming out instead.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then for Biolante, I don't know if you guys ever played, the Godzilla games back then, and Biolante was in the game. Okay, so you know how she would stand up on all her tentacles and run?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Put that into the movie. Let the tentacles lift
Oh
her
yeah,
up
that
off
would
the
be fine.
ground, run and drop on top of Godzilla.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. What about you, Remy? What power would you upgrade or give Biollante to go up against Godzilla?
Well, I got one. So with her poison
Okay.
ivy, I feel like when she shoots it and Godzilla gets hit, her poison ivy actually has this very psychedelic or like vertigo type of thing to it. So when Godzilla gets hit, he like starts seeing things. Like he actually
Disoriented.
sees like King Ghidorah like right in front of him, and Godzilla's like all freaked out. Like kind of like an LSD trip for Godzilla. So like when he gets hit, he's like, "What is going on? Like what's happening to me?" Like he's just in like this strange new area, and like there's colors everywhere, and he's seeing all his old enemies, and he sees Kong, and he actually sees
Like
some of
what?
his
Like an
old
illusion?
relatives back, and he's like wondering what's happening to him. And like it'll do the same thing for humans. So like if they get hit, they just start tripping out and going crazy.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. That would be awesome. I would like to see that. Serge, what about you? If you could upgrade or give Biollante a new power, what would it be?
Well. First, hi to the people in the chat. I know we've got like a hi or so in there, and so I think I would like. I don't know that I'd give that I'd give Violante new powers. My daughter. Um, say hi.
Uh,
Hey,
I don't know that I'd give Violante new powers. I think I would just make her stronger. Make those vines stronger.
okay.
Make her reach farther. Kind of like what Remy was saying.
Hmm.
So that yeah, like, what if she's able to just uh, grow so much and regenerate so much that that her base is under an entire city, and she could raise up all those vines and just kind of encapsulate herself around Godzilla. I think that'd be killer to see on a big screen.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
especially IMAX.
that would be nuts. And IMAX, yeah, and I think for Godzilla, I don't know that I would give him new abilities, but I think I would bring back his use of his atomic breath into becoming an atomic, not the burning Godzilla pulse, but the pulse that he uses when he's grabbed by
Oh,
Biollante. First one,
like
yeah,
in
where
King
like
Ghidorah, right?
yeah, and King Ghidorah also, like, he's wrapped around with vines or King Ghidorah's head, and instead of shooting out, he just uses it through his body to blast whatever's on him.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
would be
Yeah,
that
cool.
that's a,
That
because
would
he
be
only
nice.
does that in those two movies, if I remember correctly, Biollante and then Heisei King Ghidorah, and man, I just thought that was the coolest thing uh, as a kid seeing that. So I would totally love to see that brought back. Not necessarily a new ability, but just something he hasn't had to deal with before yet, and
that's true.
have to
Something as a
use,
new.
or he's just adapting. He's growing, he's evolving. So I think that would be pretty cool.
Right. And yeah, that would definitely be awesome. And then again, having a monster like Biollante, I think Biollante, whoever does the next movie, and if it is Biollante, it's got to be something that appeal to people. That's going to give them, like you said, Serge, give them a sense or a feel that Biollante is going to be the one that's going to really give Godzilla a run for his money. Like, I really like Biollante a lot, having so many cool abilities. And, just, and like, even your idea, Serge, I'm serious. We're going to sue somebody if they steal your idea. I'm not playing.
Hey,
They getting sued, man.
imagine seeing those sharp vines
Oh yeah,
actually go through Godzilla like they did his hand.
Yep.
In the new one,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
actually injured, like really injured.
I would
That'd be
love
crazy.
for the fatality for Biollante to just be Godzilla. Like, if you've seen Gamera 3, I would love for Godzilla to just like shoot atomic breath on his arm, and instead of exploding his arm, it actually like encompasses his entire arm. So his arm is basically just made out of blue flames, and he just looks at Biollante, just like goes for one final punch and like hits her right in her core, and then blows her up like that. That would be an awesome fatality.
There it
from
is.
Godzilla.
So, Nick, I want to bring this back to your attention. Where would you like for this movie to take place? Godzilla 3, Godzilla versus Biollante. Where would you like this to take place?
I wouldn't have it take place right away, like as the next Godzilla film.
Uh-huh.
I would like let it build up to it, like how 2014 it had the cave paintings automatically. Boom, next one was King of the Monsters. After that, boom, Godzilla versus King Kong.
Okay.
I would have it build up so like how they showed it was Space Godzilla supposedly supposed to be next. Maybe. Like if that movie happens, put a cave painting, boom, there's Biollante, the next fight. As like
Yeah.
Godzilla 4 or even title Godzilla versus Biollante.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I like that.
Like
I like that.
keep it like that, because that's what makes the movie more interesting, in my opinion. When you have the cave paintings and it shows what's the next fight, but you're already sitting there as like a person picturing how the fight's gonna go down, how they're gonna make their appearance, how's the story gonna go, how many people are gonna be involved in it. We already see how Madison and her father were introduced. They lost their brother and son in the 2014 fight of, where was it?
San Francisco.
Yeah, in San Francisco. Keep
Yep.
it, keep it running like that. Someone else, not technically someone else lost their son. Someone lost a friend or something. Like Serge said, when the guy lost his wife in the explosion of the power plant. You could start it off like that in the beginning of Godzilla vs. Biollante.
Dude, that's such an awesome
Just
idea.
shoot it to a throwback.
That was an awesome idea.
Past, present, and now.
Yeah, I like that. I see what you did with the cave paintings. That also would be good. Kind of just stick with what they've been doing, because it gets you excited for the next opponent. Like I remember when I saw the Kong Skull Island post-credit scene, I was like, dude, I freaked when I saw Rodan, when I saw Mothra, when I saw King Ghidorah. I was like, you got to be kidding me! I'm about to really get them on the big screen. That was awesome. That was like super awesome. Remy,
That was great.
yeah, that was man.
That was a good
awesome.
moment.
I was hyped.
I was literally cheering. Everybody else was quiet. Like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, it's Mothra. Oh, Dan. Oh, King Ghidorah. Oh, God.
That's how I don't know. I like to be amped up when I see things like that. People just looking like they didn't know who it was. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
But
of course, when it's Marvel, everybody's like, woo, Marvel. But then when Godzilla, they're like, who?
Well, my movie theater, everybody stood up and started clapping like, yes, that's the movie.
There you go.
I need to come to your
Love your theater, Nick.
Come to your movie theater, Nick.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I need
I'm
to
coming
come
to yours
your theater
next time.
I was the only person.
Remy, yeah, I was the only one flipping out, and then I had my auntie next to me crying. I'm like, come on. Remy, where would this battle between Godzilla and Biollante take place?
Do you mean like in the MonsterVerse or like the location in the actual movie where I would have the fight take place?
Like the MonsterVerse, their location in general. Like Kong had of course. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would go with Nick's, where I would have it build up. So I would probably have Kong have another movie, and maybe have this movie take place after that one, where the post camera's bugging. All right, there we go. Where the end credits you could have maybe like you just go back to the remains of the power plant from 2014, and you just start seeing like this plant root start to grow and like push its way out from the rubble, and then it kind of like blooms into a rose, and then it cuts to black. And so Godzilla fans go like, "Oh, okay, Biolante's coming up next," and so I would have it take place, and I would just call it Godzilla 3, maybe the birth of Biolante, or Biolante's conquest. I would maybe call it one of those. So then I would have it take place after that.
bro.
But what the interesting thing is, though, I would not have Biolante die at the end. I talk about Godzilla fatality, but I would not have her die at the end, actually. I'd have her live. Because I'd have it that maybe Biolante, because what Serge said, maybe Biolante has memories, since she has like human cells from Bryan Cranston's wife. Maybe she has like a little bit of memory from when she was a human, and so that gives her kind of an affection or sympathy towards humanity. So maybe at the end, when Godzilla and her are about to kill each other, she realizes, "What am I doing? I've become this monster," and so she doesn't die. And so at the end, like in the other Biolante movie, Godzilla vs. Biolante, in the Hasty series, maybe you can have her like turn into those little
Dust particles.
what were they? Yeah, those particles, and then maybe that could just leave it up to the future. Like, will Biolante return? Will she actually help Godzilla in the next battle if he needs her?
And that's
So
how
maybe
we
she
get
could
Space
be
Godzilla.
exactly. Oh, that's right. No, I would have it where maybe Biolante and Godzilla team up to take on Space Godzilla. You could have a battle between siblings. Godzilla, his sister, and his brother all taking each other down. Like one family like battle between each other.
That's messed up.
Man,
But
we
that's
get some
actually a
ideas.
good way of putting
I
it.
like it. We're hired.
Yes, because like
Yeah.
like think about it. Like they're made from Godzilla's DNA, so that technically makes them family, or at least siblings.
I need the script. I'm not signing the contract unless we get a 10-movie deal. Got to be at least 10 movies. I can't do one Godzilla movie. You got to have got to be a multi-million deal. Got to be a multi-million
Exactly.
deal. Sir, Godzilla 3, Godzilla versus Biollante. Where would you like this film to take place?
Where?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I'm sticking with my idea, then it's got to be there in Japan. It's got to be there in Japan where the old nuclear plant was. I mean, we already saw it, later on in Godzilla 2014 after the initial incident, and so I mean, it already was getting overrun with plants, right? So maybe that kind of leads us into it. So yeah, I'd say this last one was in it was in the States, and it was in China. So let's take this one back to Japan.
Wow, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Make it Tokyo.
Probably near the near the forest more though.
Yeah, make the final battle take place in
Tokyo
Tokyo. That would
needs
be cool. Yes.
Could you imagine the shots of Biollante if they make her right? How awesome! Like I want Biollante to have this look kind of like Mothra. Like Mothra looks sweet, but at the same time she looks like she could just hurt you. That's kind of how I want Biollante to have that double look. Like, all right, she looks like she's gentle, but at the same time, like she will take you out. That's kind of the feel and the look that I would like to Biollante.
What I would love
in
that final battle is if Biolante's roots like grabbed the structure of some buildings and started like bringing them towards Godzilla and like smashed them together against Godzilla. Like she actually dragged the buildings towards Godzilla and like smashed them with those. That would be cool. Or if she just started like bringing buildings down on him like in Shin Godzilla, like one after another, just to kind of like daze him. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So I'm just curious to see Legendary, Toho, you got 4 producers, so
we out here.
Not only that,
Grab us, man.
You guys,
come on.
You guys were just granted by HBO Max to make 10 more Godzilla movies.
Dude, that is awesome.
We make a Godzilla series, make a MonsterVerse series. Actually,
I just said that. Just let us make the 10 movies. Give us a deal. You know, like I wouldn't mind doing that. Waking up, just writing scripts for Godzilla. Nah, I would do. I would love to. I would love to do that. But
Honestly,
we got maybe 6 people in the chat. If y'all want to ask any questions before we close, feel free. We're just doing a theory video. Like I said, shout out to my brother Nick for putting this together. We're talking about Biollante being the next potential opponent in the MonsterVerse. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions that you would like, and we'll be more than willing to ask them. But I think today was a really, really good conversation. Some really, really good ideas on the way that Biollante will look, where it take place. So some awesome theories, man. This is dope. I love doing it. I love doing this. This is awesome. Awesome.
I
Oh,
love it.
really? Tell us what you have on display right now.
Oh, okay. I have a Mechagodzilla figure right here. Where is it? Right here. I really like it. And then I have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2021 design from Godzilla vs. Kong. I have the Kong figure over there. But I just wanted to grab these two and just have like a little display of them going up. Since we were talking about Godzilla's next opponent, I thought, yeah, we'll bring up Godzilla's last opponent, which is Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, I'm coming to your house to get that figure.
Well, let's just be honest. That the battle did not go in Godzilla's favor. Let's not forget the triple building smash with the head.
All right. Well, we were waiting on some questions. I'm not sure if Surge disappeared. Biollante got Surge.
Oh no.
That's how the movie gonna start off. That's how the movie's gonna start off. We're gonna be doing a normal podcast, and Surge gonna disappear.
What's happening?
Oh man. Tonight was good, guys. We're about to get ready to close. We are the Godzilla Nerds. I am one of the hosts again. I am Donald, as you can see.
I'm Nick.
I'm Remy.
That Surge is quiet.
That's Surge.
Oh man, but you can catch us every Thursday, 7:00 p.m. Central Time, and we will be back next week. Those who are watching this video and those who are going to watch this video later on down the line, if you have any ideas of what you want us to talk about next, just let us know in the chat box. We are out of here. Peace.
See ya.
Sorry.
I know.